We have been on the brink of a disaster in Earth's orbit, and it has not transpired until now. The truth is that it was coming. Earth's orbit is littered with rocket debris, non-working satellites, utensils abandoned by astronauts, and more trash. That makes it become a landfill, and although space is very big, there are too many objects floating in orbit. NASA Administrator Pam Melroy, in her own words, said that we were terrified when a drifting Russian satellite passed just 10 meters from an American satellite. In space, that is a ridiculous distance, without a doubt. This is going to be talked about, and may mark a new threat to us as a civilization. This and other surprising discoveries that I will tell you about may be the starting point of something more important that we are about to witness. The collision between two satellites that was about to occur on February 28, 2024, was close to becoming a terrifying science fiction movie. We have all the details of what has happened and what may happen in the future. This affects us all to a lesser extent, because it is a huge problem of colossal dimensions. When Avi Loeb says to look for alien technology, he is not wrong, because if we launch remains into space, other civilizations may have done it. Any civilization must have an industrial and neglected past like ours. Despite scientific criticism of their methods of finding remains of technology from other worlds, it is something very real. Surely other civilizations began their journey billions of years ago. Homo sapiens has only been on Earth for about 300,000 years and less than 70 years using space technology. During that time we have infected our Earth and the solar system with remains of spaceships, satellites. Wherever we go we leave a mark. Now obsessed with Mars, before the first astronauts arrive, it is possible that we see our trash scattered everywhere in many areas. This is an example of what we are creating. The remains of a long-range rocket from China that was circling space for a while has already crashed into the moon. It is the first time that a piece of our junk has crashed into another celestial body. Experts do not want to be alarmist, but we are being bombarded with space junk. Although the atmosphere can remove much of it, some objects manage to hit the surface. NASA has received a complaint from a citizen of Florida who claims that the remains of an object from the sky broke through his roof on March 8, 2024. This may be a common occurrence in the future. They are also being seen in Spain. No country in the world is safe. The problem in Earth's orbit is the most serious, which is where we concentrate all the rockets and satellites. NASA Deputy Administrator Pam Melroy shared a hair-raising experience that took place on February 28, 2024. Cosmos 2221. A drifting Russian satellite nearly collided with an American satellite. Fear gripped everyone at NASA. If they had collided, there would have been millions of particles flying at incredible speed, endangering astronauts and our spacecraft. Cosmos 2221, an obsolete Russian satellite drifting in Earth's orbit, veered off course and came dangerously close to TIMET, a vital NASA instrument for monitoring the Earth's atmosphere. This unexpected close approach of less than 10 meters, equivalent to the space of a subway car at rush hour, left scientists at the American Space Agency frozen. Panic gripped everyone at NASA when it was realized that if these two objects were to collide, they would unleash a cloud of hypersonic debris that could puncture any spacecraft in their path, including the International Space Station. The thought of a deadly shower of metallic fragments moving at 10,000 miles per hour left everyone in a state of anxiety and fear. The worst part about this was that these two satellites were unable to move, and all they could do was sit back and wait. Relief came when the two satellites narrowly avoided collision, but this event served as a chilling reminder of the urgent need to address the problem of space debris and the saturation of low Earth orbit. The Kessler Syndrome. The real danger lay in the possibility of triggering the dreaded Kessler Syndrome, a theory proposed by NASA engineer Donald J. Kessler in 1978. This theory states that a collision in space between two objects could trigger a chain reaction that would destroy much of the global space infrastructure, leaving an impenetrable debris field and ending our hopes of exploring the cosmos. What would happen then? It would be impossible to safely launch rockets into Earth's orbit. The metal pieces would begin to bring down the space station and other spacecraft. Communication satellites would be damaged, but the world would not be safe either. Millions of these fragments could fall on populated areas. If any survive, there could be a catastrophe. It is not surprising that soon we will see in our skies remains of space junk in the form of shooting stars falling on our heads. The situation could be worse than the movie Gravity. There is a growing number of satellites in orbit that has quadrupled since 2019 and represents a monumental challenge to the sustainability of space exploration. Proper management of this situation requires immediate and coordinated action by all space agencies and commercial entities involved. The situation is worrying. It is believed that there are more than 10,000 satellites in orbit, although that is not what is really worrying. There are 9,000 tons of space junk floating above our heads, and they are produced by rocket debris, metals, old satellites, collisions with other objects, tools forgotten by astronauts, organic waste, and other pieces of technology. Space debris. The United States and Russia are the ones that contribute the most trash to space. There are currently more than 1 million objects between 1 and 10 centimeters in size, and more than 34,000 larger than 10 centimeters. And this may increase over the years, as space agencies have approved more than 400,000 satellites, so that the density of space traffic will be an impossible challenge in the future. The worst thing is that these remains can reach speeds of up to 28,000 kilometers per hour, which is the speed at which they move in orbit, so any remains, no matter how small, can cause more damage to a ship than a revolver bullet that does not exceed 3,600 kilometers per hour. Among them, the one that provides the most satellites is SpaceX and Elon Musk, who want to put 42,000 satellites into orbit, and there are half of all of them in orbit, exclusively for their economic benefit. Other companies do not want to be left behind, such as Astrospace, which has proposed deploying a constellation of more than 13,600 satellites for a global broadband internet service. Just like our planet, we are polluting space, and if we continue at this rate, we will see more satellites than stars in our skies. Something must certainly change. We may fall short, and the pieces of debris will be more numerous, and we must do everything possible to clean up the remains of material and dead satellites. Several companies such as Airbus, Astroscale, and Clear Space are developing space cleaning technologies, some of which will not arrive until 2025 or 2026. At the moment, the most advanced project is to use robots to catch bulky remains of technology with metal arms. Other strategies in the future promise injectable nets to catch floating fragments, and even titanium harpoons that will catch pieces. The future of space. And what I am going to tell you now promises to be true. Surely in the cosmic play we are not the only ones who launch garbage into space. We have to think about the technology of other civilizations that I mentioned at the beginning. And not only that, Avi Loeb maintains that civilizations must evolve towards artificial intelligence, so finding an automatic ship is more likely than biological beings. Living beings are very vulnerable to radiation and need to live in a protected environment with oxygen, nutrients, and other gases. Interstellar exploration, marked by long-duration trips, poses a fundamental dilemma. Transporting living beings through space is a Herculean task, and to overcome this challenge, the idea of sending technological probes equipped with artificial intelligence emerges, and they should be able to make autonomous decisions and adapt to the demands of the vast and hostile space environment. It is complicated to travel in spaceships transporting living beings, and it is very expensive. That is why humanity has focused on launching satellites and robots to other planets. I envision a future where sophisticated technological equipment emerges from the far reaches of space, exploring, discovering, and expanding our knowledge beyond what is conceivable. While these waves may encounter objects of space junk lying dormant in the void, they also have the potential to find functional artifacts, creations of advanced civilizations that have left their mark on the cosmos. Beyond mere scientific exploration, I believe that encountering intelligent life forms in the universe would provide us with a profound sense of cosmic belonging. The search for signals from technologically advanced civilizations does not stop. The Cosmic Project is already analyzing 10 million radio sources to find technosignatures, which means searching for signals from advanced civilizations, and stars are being analyzed in order to map 80% of the sky in the coming years. Radio telescopes on Earth will go from analyzing a few stars to hundreds of thousands at the same time. This is the cosmic initiative of the SETI Institute. Other possible technosignatures indicate contamination by polluting gases, which is the presence of a gas released by an industrial process such as nitrogen dioxide, very common in our cities. If we find this gas together with chlorofluorocarbons, we would be looking at evidence of an industrial civilization in its early days, or even a nuclear war. The detonation of the atomic bombs had significant effects on the Earth's atmosphere. During the first nuclear tests carried out in the 1940s and 1950s, large amounts of ionizing radiation and radioactive gases were released into the atmosphere: nitrogen oxides, organic compounds, and carbon dioxide. These events caused various consequences, including various radiation-related diseases, and continue to affect many areas of the globe, especially those close to the detonations. Using the James Webb together with the extremely large telescope and the Hubble, these gases could be detected on planets about 30 light-years away, with 400 hours of observation combining various wavelengths. In any case, from my point of view, our main objective is to clean up space, and more importantly to use efficient technologies that leave no debris behind, and that all rocket remains can be recovered, and above all, global nuclear disarmament. This is a challenge for our industrial civilization, but it can be done. The cosmos, with its incredible mysteries, is waiting for us. We want to conquer the moon and Mars, even travel at the speed of light. But our primitive technology is creating a very serious problem for us. And as I have said many times, we now have two opposing systems: the purely economic one that looks out for profits at the expense of the planet, and another one that we must use now, which is the one of sustainable and efficient technologies for the well-being of our environment, and also that of our near space.